Hey, it's H here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for SP500. I'll cover wave analysis with Elliott Wave Theory and provide multiple scenarios a price may take and explain why I prefer one count over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Starting here on 4-hour time frame this time, let's take a look at the overall structures. So I've got two different ideas overlaid here within the same area here, so don't get too confused. Overall, if we're looking at this orange count, we would have this as a WX, and then all this structure would be wave Y. I would not like it to go beyond the $3,488 area, at which we would go beyond the 1.618 extension of this WX and Y. At that point, at the latest, we would be looking at this red count here, which would be again WX, Y, X, Z. At that point, again, for this last leg, we would be looking at this as an A, B, and C. For the wave Y here, we would be looking at this as an W, X, and Y, which is shown here. So again, overall, we can't have a WXY structure within a complex correction according to the original Elliott Wave book. But again, to me, this looks better as is, and I'm going to be labeling this as such. If you want to be labeling this as an ABC, be my guest, but it is easier for me to have this as an ABC, having this right look in here rather than anything else if we are going to be taking out these current lows that we have. Of course, the other scenario is this, that we have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into wave A, and then ABC into wave B, and then 5 waves into C, and this would be completing here. Again, we get right into the 0.618, which is the minimum extension we want to see for the wave three-way structure, but again, is not near the 1-to-1 extension, which is generally the target that we want to see. Again, minimum is already hit though. So overall, again, if we are shutting down these and looking at, let's take a look at this primary still. To me, we have already created this 5-way structure here for the A wave, as mentioned many times, and then now we would be in this wave B. If we would be labeling this as a third wave or something, just because the RSI is so low, this whole structure is a wave 4, and it just doesn't really seem to be fitting too much of anything here. So yeah, let's jump into this lower time frame structure to see what we are actually dealing with. As I was away, we had a pump here, higher prices, and definitely that was not out of the ordinary. There was cases that we were looking at higher prices. This one was the first one that got invalidated, in which again we were mentioning that if the price goes beyond the 0.618 or the golden pocket here, if I move it to the right, again, this is saying that we had a 3-way structure here, and the wave B would be already completed up here. This was very unlikely, as we did not really have a clear 5-way move here into the wave 1, plus we went beyond the 0.618 here for the wave 2, again making it less likely to be a 1-2 scenario. Okay, so again, many things that were against this count, and now as we pumped here, we got below or beyond the start of the wave structure, making this whole count invalid. Now let's take a look at the other scenarios, in which again we would be looking at, let me move that out of the way. We would be looking at this as a 5-way move here into a wave A or wave 1, 3-way move, 3-way move, and 3-way move here. So that would be a B or wave 2. So A, B, and C, or 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. At this point, again, we could be looking at RSI giving us some kind of signal that this indeed would be a wave 3, as we have the highest RSI here. Wave 1 definitely looks very extended compared to wave 3, and we could be labeling it as such if we are indeed going to be pivoting down from here heavily. Definitely the last wave 5 is definitely not looking very good. in here we would have some kind of complex correction in the wave 2 already, which is making this less likely of the scenario as a impulse wave structure in here. It is very overlapping already, so we'll see what happens. At the moment, or today, we have dumped down a bit, gone beyond this previous order block here. Now we are most likely going to be backtesting and going down again if that is going to be the case. Or we're just going to be taking the liquidity down here, the stop losses, and going higher. Now, if we are going to go higher, we can see clearly that this wave 3 is shorter than wave 1 here. So we have to be keeping this in mind when looking for the wave 5. If the wave 5 is going to go beyond the area of around the $4,065 area, then we can't have this as a wave 3 here, just because wave 5 is already longer than wave 3. Remember, again, wave 3 here cannot be the shortest wave structure in the 5-way sequence. So yeah, that would get invalidated. But that's the diagonal or the bullish scenario overall, saying that we are ended the wave C here or something else. Overall, again, why I don't prefer the idea of this being a wave 3 yet is because of the extension here. We can see that we're not even close to the 1.618 here overall. So yeah, that is the reason. Nothing more to it, right? Is this the right one or is this one? Why are they looking so different? Oh well, I'll look into that later. But again, we're getting closer to the 1-to-1 extension here for the possible wave C rather than the 1.618, which would be more likely to be the third wave overall. So with this bias in mind, we could be again looking this as an A, B, and C. On higher time frame, we are again, if we are looking at the structures in RSI, we can see that we had a pump here, and then we had a correction. And if we are just lining this structure here with the pump, with the first structures, we can see that we had another connecting structure here and here. So we could already be completed somewhere around here as per the RSI. But of course, RSI is not completed or completely alone trustworthy, so we have to be placing the Elliott Wave structures in itself, and I can't really get my count ending here if indeed we are looking for 5-way structures in here. Now let's get into the bearish structures, which could of course be a bit different here. Let's pull that guy back here and let's go through the complex structure again. Generally I would not be preferring this because this is complex. Generally, the more simple the count is, the more reliable it is and more likely it is to happen. So in this one, we would have this as a 3-way structure into wave A or wave W, and then this would be an A wave of lower degree, right? A, B, and C, and then only then we would be looking for C wave or the wave Y, depending on how low this whole structure comes down to. Okay. This was just the idea because we had very, very weird structure here as a WXY. At least that's how I've labeled it here, and that looks the best to me. So that's why I have this very weird looking structure. We definitely can fit a a diagonal here. Again, we don't need to have it as diagonal. We can have just a complex, or not complex, but an very extended wave 1 here, and then have the C wave already end here. We don't need to have it as a diagonal, as I mentioned, because we don't have overlap between the first and fourth. It just looks a bit better if it is indeed a diagonal, but we don't need to be labeling that. Another idea, of course, is just having this as a simple A, B, and C. Again, we would have that diagonal here, as mentioned before, the same that we had here on the bullish count, but again, this would be more like again that more bearish scenario in which we would have this as an ABC. One more thing about this is the extension here in time. If we are comparing this A wave to possible C wave, we are seeing that 1-to-1 extension is right around here. So if we were to pivot down now, it is looking very good in time, at least, as this would be a 3-way move, and 5-way move. Oh, sorry, 5, 3, 5, so a zigzag. We did not hit the 1-to-1 extension here, which is a bit sad. That would be right around this order block here. But again, we did get right into that area as well, where we had volume there as well, a volume spike in which we tapped into right here and then pivoted very hard downwards. And yeah, at the moment it is looking pretty dark. And yeah, I am on my short position on S&P 500 at the moment. Is this looking very impulsive structure? The first leg definitely can be impulsive. The second, sure, that can be a pullback. And this can be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 possibly. We have a lowest low here on RSI. Again, we are on a 1 minute time frame, so even catching this as a 1, 2, this would be 3, 4, and 5, and catching the pullback and shorting somewhere here along these areas of resistance would be very nice. I probably would add more if the price would get back up there, if the count again would suggest that, and give us some clarity or good looking wave structures up to that point. But yeah, that is pretty much everything I wanted to cover here on S&P 500. My bias is still downwards overall. We'll see how it turns out though. If you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes, and link to my free Discord server in the description below. And for now, I thank you for watching and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.